Okay, so let's continue with these other examples that we did before. Okay, so we're going to find a sub n, or the explicit rule of these two sequences that we have done before. So try to get your a sub 1. We already found this. Okay, d is negative 3. This was in the other example, and here a sub 1 is 1/2, and d is, we found it to be 2/3. Now when you're watching these videos, you really have to pause and do the work. You cannot just watch the videos continuously. Okay, you will not understand anything. You have to watch, solve, okay, do some work, then watch again, then do work. Okay, so pause this video and find the a sub n of these two sequences, and find the 15th term of these two. 15th term. Okay, so pause and solve. So a sub n here will be a sub 1 plus d n minus 1. I hope you memorized the formula. A sub 1, the first term is negative 5, d is negative 3, multiplied by n minus 1. So that will be negative 5, negative 3n, negative, negative, positive. So that will be negative 3n, negative 2. So this is your explicit rule for this particular sequence. Okay, now I asked you to find a sub 15, or the 15th term. They will tell you what term you have to find. So a sub 15, you just substitute 15 here. Negative 3 times 15 minus 2. So you're going to get negative 45 minus 2 is negative 47. Okay, same thing here. We will do the same. So that's negative 47 there. Okay, same thing here. We're going to get our a sub n. So that's equal to a sub 1 plus d n minus 1. So a sub 1 is 1/2 plus 2/3 multiplied by n minus 1. So that will be 1/2 plus 2/3 n minus 2/3. So I hope you solve that. That's 2/3 n, 1/2 minus 2/3. Combine these two. I hope you know that's equal to negative 1/6. So that is your a sub n. So let's find the 30th term, or the 15th term for this one too. So a sub 15 will be 2/3 times 15. Your n is 15 now, minus 1/6. So that will be 30/3 minus 1/6. Get the least common denominator, multiply that by 2/2. So that will give you 60 minus 1 is 59/6. So that is our 15th term. Okay, so that's the explicit rule. Now let's write. There is also what we call the recursive rule. I think you remember this from last year. Recursive rule. So this one is the recursive rule. So how do you write the recursive rule? You have this symbol here, then you will write your first term, whatever is the first term of your sequence, then you will write a sub n. Any term is equal to the term before this term plus d. Okay, so that is the recursive rule. You just have to write your a sub 1 here, and then you have to write your d. Everything else is the same layout. Okay, so let's write the recursive rule for this one here. Okay, recursive rule for that. So what will be the recursive rule for these two now? Okay, So the recursive rule is a sub 1 is equal to negative 5. Very easy. A sub n is equal to a sub n minus 1 minus 3. That's it. That's how you write it. You're done. Okay, in some books, instead of a sub 1, they will use the function notation. So they will say f sub 1 is equal to negative 5. Then f of n, not sub n, f of n is equal to f of n minus 1 minus 3. Okay, so be sure that you remember these things. Okay, these two, any of this is correct. I will use this one in my next lessons, but I just want you to know that these two are the same. You might see it in some books. Okay, so try to pause the video and write the recursive rule for this. Recursive rule. Okay, so a sub 1 is 1/2. A sub n equals a sub n minus 1. What is the d of this? 2/3. Okay, so plus 2/3, just like that. Very easy. Okay. And then to write it in the function notation form, so you just write it as f sub 1 is 1/2 f sub n, oh no, not sub, f of n. F of 1, f of n is f of n minus 1, not sub, huh? This is all in one line. Instead here, this is written lower than a. N minus 1 plus 2/3. So that is the explicit rule. No, that's the recursive rule. Recursive rule.